Hello, everybody. We want to welcome you to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. I'm Jim Powers, the voice of the Saints. Glad to have you with us. And one of the things we're going to be doing throughout the year here on our website and also during our Saints Vision broadcast is talk to a lot of folks behind the scenes here at Maryville University. And one of them is our faculty athletic representative, Dr. Alden Craddock. And Dr. Craddock, obviously you are a big advocate for our student athletes and our coaches and our athletic department here in the university, is acting like that liaison between the academic side and the athletic side.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every university in the GLVC really stresses academics. But I think here at Maryville, we take it to another level. And, that's been recognized in the conference and across the nation. Our student athletes do a wonderful job both on the court, but also in the classroom. And my job is really to help support them to do that.
And one of the great things you guys do in your department is you really help our student athletes with that balance, because as a former athlete, I knew that balance between practice and games, trying to get my coursework done. It's a tap dance. It's a very delicate act, and that's where your department comes in to really work with our student athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a large challenge for our student athletes to be able to do both, but they do a great job, and our faculty really try to support our student athletes in that, in terms of understanding schedules, in terms of providing alternative assignments, and really communication is the key. And so what we do is try to work to make sure that our coaches and our student athletes and our faculty all communicate together to try to make all of that work well.
What are some of the things that your department does for our student athletes? And the one thing that I always reference is with basketball, there's days where we're leaving on Wednesday, not getting back till after midnight on Saturday, missing class and different things. How does your department work with our student athletes in those situations?
Sure. Mostly what we do is we try to coordinate those schedules with class schedules, make sure that faculty know in advance what's going on, and then try to provide alternative assignments when possible, try to make sure that there's some additional supports for student athletes in case they need to come in, make up work, that sort of thing. But a large portion of it, Jim, really falls on the student athlete to be on top of their academics as well as their athletic performance. And so what they need to do is really communicate directly with our faculty and make sure that they work well together.
And, the one thing that I notice, and I travel, a lot with the basketball programs, is we're on a bus, and instead of watching a movie or, a lot of talking and jibber-jabbering going on, the kids are in the books. They've got either their laptops up or they're studying. And that's the really cool thing, and I think it starts from the top down, from your department to the coaches to the student athletes.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got tremendous support within our our athletic department. I mean, everything from Marcus Manning, our AD, the entire staff, the coaches, all understand that our Maryville Saint student athletes are students too. They're not just athletes here, and we really try to stress that and then provide those supports. So I also have an academic council that works with me, the Athletic Advisory Committee. They're made up of representatives from every one of our colleges or schools, and what they do is then come in and also try to communicate with our student athletes about where are the tough points, where are the conflicts that occur, how to get through those, and also intervene directly within those degree programs whenever possible to try to smooth out some of that conflict.
And the other thing that's great, too, is there's tutor help. There's always help. If somebody's struggling in a class, they can come to you or go to that department head, and they can get the help they need to be successful.
Yeah, and we're actually this year being even more aggressive with that in terms of identifying, are there issues with certain teams, are there issues with certain students, and trying to set up individualized learning plans like we do with the rest of our student body to really try to support them to excel.
And the great thing, too, is, and I know it's well documented here within the university, but not a lot of people know that we graduate our student athletes 100% a couple years ago, and that's the big thing that I think gets lost in the great successes that we have is our kids, our student athletes, graduate and get jobs, and there's not a lot of universities that could boast that success rate.
Yeah, we're always in the upper 90s. One year we did hit 100. That's a hard one to top. But in addition to that, our student athletes carry a higher GPA than our non-student athletes. They also advance much faster through their degrees than our non-student athletes. So as teams and as student athletes, they really excel in the classroom.
Absolutely. Well, it's always great talking to you. Thank you so much for what you do with our student athletes, and I know we'll do this again at some point during basketball season.
Look forward to it, really do.
Thank you so much. Dr. Alden Craddock joins us here on MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Once again, it's just not about what we do on the field or on the court. It's about how our kids and our student athletes present themselves in the classroom, and this gentleman and his staff is a major part of it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Maryville Saints for all the updated information about our athletic department, and also make sure you like our Facebook page, Maryville Athletics. I'm Jim Powers, the voice of the Saints. Glad to have you with us once again on MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.